Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are officially live. Should I do the countdown again?
For what?
No, I don't
Oh,
know. I
okay.
don't even know the thing was on unmuted or not. There
Okay.
was a new sound on the countdown.
Okay.
They technology changes, so there's software upgrades, and so
Yeah.
look at here. It is Godfidence, and we are 3 minutes until the top of the hour. Today is Monday. What is it? February the 24th. And we are getting things going here. Let's see what's going on. I know there's somebody's. There my friends go. They start early, getting it together. You can go ahead, baby. That's what we do. Go ahead and tell your friends, you guys, to join us tonight on Godfidence as we celebrate. As you can see, our message tonight, it says love is love in any language. And so, yes, let me do something.
Oh, you cool now. Everything is groovy.
These are my little hard glasses I got when I went to my Delta Sigma Theta meeting. They had all the new
Oh,
members
okay.
that are transitioning from another chapter. I can't see nothing now, baby. Let me just put them back on.
I think you better
This is for
take them
Darcy and Danita tonight. Love is love in any language. What they used to do in the past? Like, cool man, cool man.
off.
Love is love. Y'all feel me? Y'all see me? In any language, man.
But that was most of the white folks said that stuff.
But full of, you can't say that on our broadcast. We are all international. We go global here.
Is this my broadcast or not?
It's still global.
So,
I'm part owner.
I'm just saying. So what wrong with saying the white folks did? That's a fact. It's not being racist is a fact.
It ain't.
Yeah. The black folks said what it is. Power to the people.
Let me show y'all something that Fuller do. I can't see y'all, but I'm gonna keep my glasses on because I got to be cool for my friends that are joining us. Love is love in any language. Fuller do this, and just y'all can do it too, whether you white or black. I can't see, so I got to take them off. Okay, gotta come back to my spectacles here. Look here, Fuller does this for you guys. Wait a minute, okay. You ain't got to tell us nothing, Yvonne Holmes. We already know we was gonna blow you up. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh gosh. Happy birthday.
Two.
Full of week. Yvonne Holmes on with us. Happy birthday, Yvonne Holmes.
I'll let you take the lead.
And it is a wonderful love month that you were born in. And so what I was saying to you guys, because we got one more minute. So this is what you can say anytime you're talking about somebody of the other opposite race, not bad or good. Just say we ain't talking about anybody. Just so you know, whenever you see Fuller do this, we call this the wonderful people. That would be white, and then this would be the beautiful people. This would be the black folks. So anytime you see that, and sometimes you may want to use it, whether you're black or white.
With your mixed company.
You mix company. I don't care if you're white. You say the
wonderful
beautiful people. You know.
The beautiful people.
We typically know what this means.
Right.
So it's beautiful.
and wonderful.
Yeah. They all have great meanings. Yeah, those are the great codes. Okay.
But talking about Yvonne's birthday, she born in a great time. It's Valentine's Day month, so that's a love month, and then it's Black History.
It's Black History.
So she was born in an important month.
Look, she was born in an important month, so I get to put my cool glasses on.
Everything is groovy.
Everything is groovy. Yes. So anyway, it is the top of the hour.
We hadn't been smoking, you guys.
We're just having a little fun. And so, look, hello everyone. Today is yet another Godfidence. And we get to talk to our friends from last week, part one. What did you think about part one?
Oh, awesome. Just a lot of not mystery. It was just so interesting.
It was interesting.
I won't use the word mystery, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
Like a mystery.
It was. And that's because our guests, which I'm going to pop them in. So our guests in the background, if y'all doing something other than getting it together to come speak, y'all got to get together. Let's freshen it all up. Just like, I've been trying to do this. So y'all ready? All right. There they are.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, now let's do coffee there.
Are amazing. Yes.
Hello.
Guys, y'all feel good. And so we were
Thank you.
doing maybe a recap from last week because hey, bro. Hey, happy birthday to Yvonne Holmes. Everybody's joining. Thank you for joining yet again.
Norma owns as usual.
Yep. So we got a whole crew on. So you guys said we never tell you that we broadcast live from Facebook and YouTube. We probably should broadcast from Instagram as well. Darcy tried to get me to do the Instagram. I was rebellious.
Yeah.
And so, but we got to get that. And so, but last week, you guys
don't take it personal, Darcy. That's where she is.
No problem.
Look, so okay. Y'all don't listen to Fuller. So last week, you guys, we had an opportunity to chat with Darcy and Danita regarding, love in different languages, how they met. They told their story. So if you didn't watch last week, you got to go back and get a recap of that. So we're going to start this week. I'm going to do something different, babe, this week.
Go ahead.
I would like for Danita and Darcy to take over the show and just they're gonna talk about whatever they want to talk about. We're gonna ask some questions now, but we ain't gonna let you just because you had a list of the things we need to talk about. So we just gonna let you start wherever you would like to start. And I'm saying this because last week when we left off, where we were talking about Darcy and Danita had met. Darcy is from Paris, but his family is from West Africa. Right?
Yes, West Central, Gabon. Yes.
Okay. Right. And so we were kind of curious, or I was maybe curious about how this love works when you're dating someone from another country, and because we have our own perceptions about people from other countries, and especially for men from Africa, we've all made these speculations and come up with our own versions of how the relationship should go. So Danita and Darcy are they got some things they want to share. Wherever it is you want to share, you don't have to start from there. You can start from where we left off last week, and you can just go from there. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to come back again and speak to your group. We appreciate it so much. Very happy to be here with y'all.
Yes, thank you so much. So
good. So take it away.
Okay, we will do that. Okay. I was trying to get my phone, but my phone is in the other room. So I'm going to just go off of what we had talked about before. So the last time we had got together, we did a recap or an introduction of our journey, how we got together, a little bit about our backgrounds, where we came from, our value system, what has sort of held us together these last 20 years. And I thought it would be really good to just start having a conversation now about just the milestones that we've encountered in our lives with, being married with children. And how we've navigated those things. So I'm going to ask Darcy to talk a little bit about that. And I will come and start speaking about how we maintain connection in our marriage. Does it sound good?
Yeah, awesome.
Can we get some? We're very interactive people, so if we can get some hearts or some likes that you are relating to what we're saying, we would really appreciate that for the Godfidence time that we have together.
And as you guys are formulating your thoughts and getting conversations going, we ask if you've got a question for Darcy and Danita, that you can put your questions in the chat and I'll read them. They can't see some of this chat because we're on StreamYard, but I can post them live so that they can read them from the screen. So take it away, Danita.
Okay, awesome. So Darcy, we have navigated a lot. And I think the last time we got together up here, we were talking about our children and how before we got married, our children were already named. So can you start there and talk a little bit about that and what kind of led us to naming our children what we named them?
Very interesting. So what is so important that we said last week it was very important for us to make sure that our marriage, our value were the same, our vision were the same, and we are not trying to be too American or too Gabonese or too French. We want to make sure that the balance still the kingdom, at the same time to bring all the value or everything that we think that is good, to put it inside our marriage, and everything we think like is bad tradition, we're not going to add it to our marriage. So one of the things that was very important for us is because of the name is so important. Like my name is Akinenge Ogandaga, is son of, like my name is, I was named, my first name was my grandfather name. Because like for where I'm from, you don't give yourself a junior because you haven't accomplished enough to give yourself a junior. It's like after the generation and we see like the 60 or 70 years and say, okay, you deserve for somebody else to get this name. So so I was named after my dad's name. So I was like, you know what, Danita, let's make sure that all our kids gonna have one name from my family and one name from your family. So our daughter, our oldest daughter now was about to turn 16 in 3 months. We call her Talmer Mary. Talmer is Danita's mom name, and Mary is my mom's name. So her name is Talmer Mary Ogandaga. Then our second daughter is Butu Suri. So Butu is the name of my sister, is also the name of my grandmother. And Suri is the name of Danita's grandmother as well. And then my son name is Ogo. Ogo was my dad's name, and we put the middle name Solomon was Danita's last name. Because to make sure that when people hear our name, they understand the lineage that North Carolina and Gabon together in the name, to make sure that, okay, we see our last name here, but wait, what town is coming from name? What Suri coming from? What Solomon coming from? And make sure that, you know, we both have, even in the name, to make sure that that was very important to have. And then it was prophesied to us that we have 2 girls and 1 boy. That's exactly what happened. So
we do have 2 other children that are in heaven, and we know exactly where they are. So, you know, it makes it all the worthwhile. But for those that have ever, you know, lost children, we can definitely relate to you as well. That was in itself a process, which again adds to everything that I speak with concerning grief, because that was a situation that we went through together. And I'm really thankful that we were able to really help our families understand that, you know, when you go through something like a miscarriage or a later term pregnancy, that still counts. That still is important. It still needs to be stopped and dealt with. If you don't deal with things, things will deal with you.
Yeah.
So we were very intentional about making sure that our children knew about those spaces of time in between them getting here, and that there were actual people that occupied those spaces before they came.
Interesting.
Just to add to what Darcy had mentioned a few minutes ago, one of the amazing things that this whole marriage and this journey with God has, and being married to Darcy has really meant to us, has really been sort of a restorative part for really both of us. Darcy's father passed away, in 1996.
When I was 18.
When he was 18. When I was 21, my mother and father passed away. And so as we were, you know, coming together in our relationship and, you know, getting together and then being told, you know, what our children would be named and getting those names together, we also, in addition to those names, received promises from God. And I like to call those promises because throughout the Bible, it talks a lot about, I promise you, I promise you. And when you're going through a lot of things like trying to come from one country to another, or in my case, you know, not really wanting to go to college at the time, I had just given up on life. I didn't want to do anything. And then finding my way through getting back into college and, you know, going back to school and finding love and getting married. You know, God began to give us promises when we got married. So in addition to our daughter being named Talma Marie Ogundaga, he also told us that she was the child of purpose. And with that, we are to instill in her purpose. And so if you know anything about our daughter, she's been able to write from the age of 7 until present 4 books. She'll be working and releasing her 5th book next month. And she's completed her books in French and English. But just to let her know that she's child of purpose. Our daughter, Butu Sudi Ogundaga, Butu is child of promise. Butu is our middle child, and she came at the right time. She was on the front and the back end of 2 miscarriages. And, we didn't know, how life was going to turn out and how life was going to pan out. But God knew that we would be blessed with Butu Sudi. And she is our child of promise. And we hold those promises every time we look at her. And our son, when we turned 40 years old, I thought we were, going to just be chilling somewhere, but you look up and wow, Darcy, I am pregnant.
I wonder how that happened.
And I could not have been more blessed. Yes, I could not have been more blessed to be pregnant with our son, Ogo Solomon Ogundaga. And Ogo is our child of Jubilee. And for so many reasons, the book of Leviticus talks about it not taking 50 years for something to happen. And sure enough, he's dealt with a lot of challenges in his life with speech and from nonverbal to verbal. And just watching his resilience and going through that process, God literally sped up and turned what could have taken 50 years into 5 months. And he is a constant reminder of the promises of God. So when you all name your children, if you are new or you're courting or you're trying to get together, be intentional about raising and naming your children. Many people like to try to go into magazines or list that name children or take the best names each year, and that's all well and fine, but it's something about being intentional and letting God lead you, even in the naming of your children, because they will take on those characteristics, those assumptions, those makeups, frameworks of them. It's so amazing to see our kids, not even really being able to physically meet our parents, his father and my parents, but they're emulating a lot because we're constantly drilling them about what their name means as they get older, and they won't depart from it. So just wanted to share that. Any questions?
I would just like to comment that Nigerians, they name their people on purpose as well. One of my friends' name is Prince, and the other one's name is God Dwells There. God dwells here. Yes. And so you think about it, every time their name is called, you're calling out their purpose. You're calling out their promise. You're reminding them of Jubilee. You're reminding them that you are a prince. You've been reminded that God dwells with you. And so that's very important. Instead of these cute, fancy names, have names with purpose. I understand that. That's understandable.
Yeah, that was
absolutely
good.
Any questions?
Yeah. So do you guys have any questions on our broadcast today? Again, if you're just joining, this is Darcy and Danita, and they are our guests. They have shared their journey in part 1, and I would encourage you to go back. But now we're talking about part 2, and one of the things that we learned is that, and you probably learned, but we knew that Danita and Darcy met each other on a different kind of a journey. And Darcy's from Paris, and Danita is from North Carolina. So we've heard these misconceptions about dating abroad or dating a brother that's African, or how controlling they are. Can we get to that? Because we at 6:15. Because I want to know a little bit of that tea. Can we go there?
Absolutely, we can go there. That's what I love about Godfidence, is that you all go there. So there's a time to laugh. There's a time to cry. There's a time to spit the truth, and there's a
Yeah.
time
Right.
to sing it. And so I just believe that the time that we are in right now, people are expecting and they're needing truth, they're needing connection. And the real way that you provide connection is to be able to take those parts of your life that you're comfortable with sharing. I know that everything is not to be meant to be shared.
Right.
As I tell Darcy all the time, this shirt or this dress is for the house. But there
Right.
is a time when there is a
You
time
know
when,
full,
you know.
you know fuller, don't you? You can't wear that out. We need to do a segment on you can't wear that out. Our studio artist, you can't wear that out. I'm talking to you watching.
Yes.
Wear that out.
Yeah, you represent me. You represent my brand.
We're
You
gonna
can't
talk
do
about
that.
that. That's gonna be a show.
You can't do
You
that.
can't wear that out. We're gonna talk about
Yeah,
that.
but
Yes, sir.
it's,
Thank
you
you for
know,
the
it's
title.
it's a time for everything. It's a time for everything. So we are appreciative to be able to share in this way. So, you know, I think the first thing that you need to think about when you are thinking about marrying or dating someone from another country is there is a self-bias that we tend to have and hold. And we don't necessarily know. We're good at talking about groupthink and what everybody else thinks about certain things, but it's very often and very not that we check ourselves and wonder like what it is internally that we're thinking. And so I think the first thing that comes to mind is you need to sort of check yourself and check in with yourself and say, hey, is there something that maybe I don't know about, you know, this country or the people from these countries or whatever the case? And, you know, try to get to know people, try to get to talk to people. And I just think that, you know, ever since I have been, you know, in North Carolina, my mother and my father were very, very open people. They were ministers, yes, but my father's and my mother, as I said before, they had a very open mindset. And what I mean by that is my father was really into music and poetry, and my mother, you know, she was, you know, just a loving person. She just loved everybody. And so we all come from different walks of life. We all come from different backgrounds. So she could chat with you if you have money or if you didn't have money. So I think for me, when I was able to come to the university, and even before, my heart was just already towards the diaspora. My heart was already open towards, you know, being cultural. I had a heart for just people in general. So, you know, when Darcy came into my life, you know, he did not speak very much English, as I said before, and his smile is what got me. His smile, you know, his smile is what really got me. You know, he was just a very gentle giant. He was just very gentle with me at a time when I needed that gentleness because my parents had always been gentle. And you know, I it was sort of like when they passed away, it was kind of like, my God, how am I going to fend for myself in this world? Days turned into like years and minutes, if you will, because I was thinking about how am I going to go on with the rest of my life. You know, I need someone to protect me. I need somebody to cover me. I need somebody to be my friend. I don't even know what to look for. I was just thinking everything. And so, you know, when I started the poetry reading on campus and he came and, you know, asked about being my DJ, we didn't think about, you know, French and English. We thought about Tupac, you know, we thought about Dear Mama, and we thought about, you know, all the songs that Rose That Grew from a Concrete, all the songs that Tupac had. And that became our language. That became our love language. And we would just, like I said, we stared at each other for a lot. And we would see each other, you know, in passing and talk to each other in the way that we could. And, you know, more than anything, we became really fast friends. And I think that is what, you know, created that love, because it was a friendship that was set on fire. And so I just think that, you know, dealing with yourself and coming to terms with anything that you may be feeling about a country or whatever the case is important. And I say that because when you do start to become public, you're going to need to be able to be strengthened or rooted in that strength of what you believe. Because as soon as you make your love public, you're going to be getting the people that will have various things to say. And when it comes to you, they love you, they want to protect you. So they're going to not see this person, how well they can treat you. They're going to look at the representation of where this person is, and they're going to see that.
Yeah.
So all of those walls have to be broken down. And that is the reason why, we pulled out maps, pulled out pictures. This is what Africa looks like. Africa is not a state, it's a continent. Libreville is a city. Gabon is a country. There is safari in parts of Africa, but in Libreville, there are paved roads, there are streets, there are galleries, there are, just everything, structured government. I mean, it is a beautiful way of living. And being able to go over there and to live there and bring family members to stay there and visit there is all the more because, they may have this preconceived notion, but you're able to chop those things down with truth. So I would just say that.
Okay, so I will add that, I like what you're saying, but I will go straight to the point. This is the bad things that we heard when we come here. Even I was listening to Wallow. I don't know if you know to watch Wallow from $1 million worth of game. I love podcasts. I believe that there's a lot of misconception, even from people coming from African diaspora or even Europe, who are Black, not from America. What we heard is, do not trust the Black woman. They are loud. They're going to put you out of your own house. All this misconception. But so you have to know, like she said, within yourself, first of all, I have discernment. And I believe, and I will say something strong, I believe that if you are an American and you find, and for some reason, you always get to these wrong African guys who treat you bad, who, do all this kind of stuff, it something got to do with you. So if you're an African guy and you choose those loud women who are going to put you out of your house or whatever misconception that you have about the Black woman, there's something to do with you. Who do you choose? It's not like all the women are bad. It's who do you choose? It's not all the African guys are bad. You just choose wrong guys who happen to be African. You choose wrong woman who happen to be, a Black American. So I believe that you have to understand the culture. And I always, when I was in Gabon, people always call me the American person. Oh, the American guy. I said, I didn't know that I would come live in the United States in my life. But I was so connected to the hip hop music. And so I'm an open, Bishop know me for years. I'm an open person. I'm open, I'm friendly. That's my personality. So I believe that sometimes you have to make sure that it's about your personality. Some people are just closed up. They don't talk to people. It's very hard. I know a lot of people who live here in Atlanta, who from another country, they don't have even one American friend. Not one. They walk, they just say hey to people, they go to their house, they don't go to nobody's house in Thanksgiving, they don't bring a plate, nobody bring them a plate, because in their mind, I'm going to stay in my community. So I believe that sometimes it's people the way they were raised. Like Danita said, I was born in Paris. In my family, we travel a lot. We went to Barcelona all the time, London. We went to Africa, different African countries, different European countries. So when the first time I came to the United States, it was not my first time outside my comfort zone. My parents sent me to the UK when I was 12 years old by myself for 1 month, just to know how to live, So to me, travel or being with people from different culture was never a problem. And what helped is that what is hard sometimes is that your mother-in-law was coming from an African country. She don't speak English. My mom, she's an English teacher. So it was very easy for my mom to talk with Danita, talking with Danita family, because she could speak. But if now you have your mother-in-law who can even speak the language with her, you have to translate over time. So it's going to be kind of awkward because now but my mom was just comfortable. My mom came to the United States in the 80s by herself. She, when Jesse Jackson came to Gabon in 1986, my mom was the translator for Jesse Jackson. When Nelson Mandela came in Gabon in 1989, my mom was translating for Nelson Mandela. So like we've never been what type of people are, ooh, the American. But I'm telling you, we have to say the truth. Some African is like, ooh, is that they're here, but they're not here. Like they're here, but they're not, they're not mingling.
Yes.
They don't know how to
part
act.
of.
Exactly. And so when we come into a relationship, it's super hard because and it's so funny. We talk Danita, like, I know some people I know who've been living in Atlanta for 15 years. They don't know who Drake is. They don't know Drake. Drake. You're like, who's that? So it's like that's how some people are in their own world, and for them, even if you have a good heart, it's going to be super hard for them to have a relationship with somebody from the state because we don't even part of a culture. We don't even part of a black culture in America. They black live in America, but they're not part of a black culture. So it's like it's going to be so hard for them to even have a decent relationship with somebody from the States. And then we talk about marriage. It's a whole nother story. So,
all right. So go ahead.
You was blessed with a lot of exposure. And that's what I say about, and I talk about that all the time, even with Q, about the reason we might score, American blacks might score less on tests than the whites because everything is geared toward their culture, and we're not a part of that culture. But if you got exposure, because there's something different about you writing about Paris, and here I have never been to Paris. I've been, but I'm saying if I've never been to Paris, there's a different writing in class about what you saw in Paris or things about Paris. You actually experienced it. I only can relate to it through reading or seeing something on TV. So that's very important. So I say that the people on here expose your kids to as much as you can about life.
Because I was going to say, because when I lived in Fort Worth, I probably lived right next door. Well, I did. I lived right next door to Dallas. And when I was a kid, we never hardly went to Dallas. It was like, it really is like Atlanta is to Marietta, right? And so, but in our minds, we were so in this box and we were closed in our thinking. And we were always, thinking it was so far removed. It's like people that live in Atlanta or College Park probably have never gone to, let's say, Alpharetta. I'm just making all this up. So it's just a way of thinking.
Right.
And people maybe even in, wherever you live right now, you probably have not ever gone to Paris or ever gone to, let's say, London or ever gone to Washington, D.C. Right. It's just that, we do. And I agree. We have to expose our kids to the better life. Darcy, I'm just shocked that your parents sent you to the UK
12 years old.
12 years old. But that's normal. But it may not be normal here. Yeah. And so you guys, it is actually, we are right at 6:30. We could probably go on 2 more episodes. I ain't gonna do that to you. 2 more episodes to talk about love. Look, Denise, like, thank you, Lord. But I do
no. This is no. It's all good. We love being here talking to y'all. And the time just goes so quickly. My goodness,
it does.
Yeah,
it does.
That was the miscommunications. That's the miscommunication you have speaking French and speaking English. Is like you mean one thing, it looks like your body language is saying one thing, and that's not what it's saying.
Right.
That's a whole other conversation. But I did.
Shout out,
so I want to ask you real quick, you guys, and then we're gonna wrap up. And hey, everybody that's just joining, see, Pastor Christian, and from
Yeah.
Canada, and my girlfriend Treese. All of you guys that are joining, Lady DY, Marvin Baker. Good to see you guys. Ernest Fuller. So we got a whole host of people
Cuz from
that
South Carolina.
yeah, we got a whole host of folks. So I want to know, can you tell us in just, y'all talked about it before, but in 2 minutes, how do you talk to someone who's not even speaking your language? But Danita, you said you could look at Darcy and it was like you could tell
Right.
that he was
Look at
like
each
trying, he
other.
was feeling you, and that he wanted you, and that he, you know, y'all liked each other. How you do that? And he can't speak English.
So you want me to answer that?
Yes, I do.
So, like I like to joke about it, but I never been shy in my life. Let's start with that. I've never been shy in my life, and I believe that if, as a man, if you see somebody that you love, you have to do what you have to do to make sure that you have to communicate that as soon as possible in a nice, polite way as well, of course. But you know, I was very intentional to let her know, like, okay, I want to be your friend, but I want to be more than your friend later on. Like, we're not gonna take it too fast. At the same time, I'm not gonna be in a friend zone, you know, for 5 years of this kind of stuff. But we will, you know, I want to get to know you, but eventually we will get together. Maybe not now, but you know. I was
Come
trying
on,
to make
Darcy.
sure
Come on, smooth talker. That's what I'm
that's,
saying,
you know,
Darcy.
just to
That's
make sure, you know, just.
look. I told
But
Austin
and people
the
need to
same
understand too. People need to understand too. My background, I used to be a DJ. So I was a DJ in Gabon, in Ivory Coast, in Paris, and London. So
Okay.
I'm in North Carolina. Where I'm gonna get shied out? I got saved, but I didn't forget who I was.
Right.
You know. So
And you
come
was
on
listening
now.
to some Tupac.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? And
Come on.
Biggie.
Yeah, right. And okay, Darcy, we see you. And so were you
Yes.
singing the songs in English? Even though you
No,
spoke French?
I knew. I mean, I translate the best way I could to be able to understand, like, okay, the power of the lyrics, because I was very into it. So listening, studying the Wu-Tang and what they are talking about back then, the Fugees, you know, people in the 90s, like the hip hop, because like I used to send my dad when he used to travel, buy a record for me and bring it back to Gabon so I can play it, you know, in a radio station, because I was a guest DJ in one of the biggest hip hop radio stations, touching 30 million listeners. I was 14 years old. So I was
Wow.
providing new music to the radio station. So I have to, you know, tell my dad. So I have to look at the magazine, even if I couldn't speak English. And I said, okay, I want a new Nas album. I want Mobb Deep. I want, you know, Bobby Brown. So I was ordering the thing, give money. I mean, my dad buy me the record, bring it back to Gabon, and I bring the record to the radio station and to the club and stuff like that. So
Oh, they loved you.
I was doing that
They loved
40,
you.
50 years old. Yeah.
Yes. So look, my last question, and then I want you to guys wrap it up with one comment that you want to leave the audience with. So Danita, I have something for you. Okay, you guys may not be friends with Danita on Facebook, but Danita be wearing them shades. Let me show you. Danita ain't wearing these shades right here, but Danita be wearing some fly
Right, she
shades
does,
on Facebook. She be posting these pictures, and they be sexy. I be like, Danita, where you get them shades from? So I see you, girl.
Y'all see how beautiful she is in person and her pretty hair.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Come on, Danita. I mean, Danita be wearing fly. Darcy.
Darcy did good. He married up. He's still married up.
Darcy.
Yes,
he had all
yes,
that exposure.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Thank
okay,
you.
take us out, you guys, with something good. What you want to share
I'm gonna
with
shout
us
out to my sister Jennifer, my favorite.
Yes. Yes. And Verdell.
So like,
Jones,
what are we supposed to do?
What did she say?
Just take us out with a one good thought that you want to leave the studio audience with.
Okay. I would just say that if you know that there's someone that you are interested in, don't waste any more time. Just don't waste any time. Just reach out and lean in. And you just might be surprised.
Amen.
Reach out and lean in. What you want to say, Darcy? I see you got something you want to say.
I mean, it's what you said. First of all, I want people to understand that is. I always say that to Bishop Fuller and Darlene in private, that do not take lightly this show. But Godfidence is a show ordained by God, and even if they make it in a way where they are so humble, they have so much wisdom to share.
Yes, they do.
And I believe that this show will bless a lot of couples because, like, when you know their personal story, you take, for me, the definition of leadership is courage. It takes courage for them to come naked and talk about certain things, like, there's a lot of episodes I was behind the scene, and I was like, wow, Bishop, what you said was powerful. And oh, wow, Darlene, what you said was powerful. So sometimes we don't even want to, but the Holy Ghost push them to do that. And there are people with a big heart. So let's support them. Let's share it with people, and let's encourage them the best way we can.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so
this
much.
is Godfidence.
Yeah, right.
Monday night, every Monday night, 6 p.m. Our guests today, Danita and Darcy. Say your last name, because I can't say it.
Oh, Gondaga. I didn't even write. I look at I just put Darcy. I didn't put the Danita name, and I didn't even put the
We know you love
Okay.
her. We know you love her.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining us again. Happy birthday, Yvonne Holmes.
Yes.
See you guys
Happy
next week.
birthday, joyeux anniversaire. Let's
Yes,
sing
love the
to her in
story.
French. We're
We'll
gonna
see you
sing to
guys
her.
next week. Go ahead.
We want to sing happy birthday to her in French.
Oh, hold on. Turn
Miss
it all the way down,
Miss
baby.
Hayes,
So what?
Yes, Yvonne Holmes.
Yvonne Holmes.
You gonna
Yes,
sing happy birthday to her in French?
yes, both of us. 1,
Okay.
2,
Okay.
3.
Let me turn it off.
Joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, Madame Holmes. Joyeux anniversaire, cha cha cha.
Cha cha cha. That's from you, Yvonne Holmes. Yay! Thank you, guys. We'll see y'all next week on Godfidence. We got some
Blessings.
more guests. See y'all
Bye-bye.
later.
Blessing, blessing.
Thank you.